quick lawn update. It is Memorial Day 2018. So first of all, thank you to all who served for us and who lost their lives for us. If it wasn't for many of you out there, we wouldn't be in the country that we're living in today, living free. And ultimately we could be speaking German or Japanese, or could still be part of England, actually happen to care about the royal wedding. Anyway, on to Memorial Day lawn. So, upon looking through my lawn yesterday, it looks like I have a little bit of a duller spot and maybe some other fungus going on. So, took a trip to Lowe's. I figured, well, it's Memorial Day, it's time to throw down some Milorganite. Lowe's was out. Their website said they only had 3 bags left. I looked through, they didn't even have that. Typically need about 5 to 6 bags to fertilize my lawn. Didn't have one. So looked around a little bit more, and what I ended up with was the Scott's Green Max Lawn Food, as well as a bunch of other stuff here. So I started looking at this Green Max, and it might work. I've actually never used this. So it's covering, so I need to throw down regular 3 1/4. That'll give me, let's see here, 5,000 square feet. And this is, what is this, a 5-pound bag, 16-pound bag. So I should get quite a bit coverage out of it. The analysis, it's a 2702 with 5% iron. So it actually has a lot more nitrogen in it. Doesn't have any potassium like the Milorganite does, but it does have some potash in it, and 5% iron. I believe the Milorganite is between 4 and 5% iron, kind of depending on the analysis and the formula at the time. So this is going to give me a lot of nitrogen. Maybe I'll get a little bit more green up because it's still not real dark green like I'm wanting. So we'll see what that'll do. And then to treat my fungus that I'm finding in the yard, I got 3 bags of lawn fungus control. That'll control brown patch, dollar spot, a bunch of other things. It looks like I do have some dollar spot. I have some pictures I took, and that is what I'm seeing right there on my lawn. So it looks like a textbook brown spot, or dollar spot, sorry. So I'm going to throw that down. And it's getting into late May, early March, or late May, early June. Look at the calendar, dude. So it's time to put down some GrubEx, because around here in Cincinnati, we don't have as many Japanese beetles as...
Alright, so I'm cutting into where I was blabbing while I was out in the garage. The GrubEx I'm putting down around now, because this is the time that the June beetles start to hit in this area. I started using the GrubEx instead of some of the other things that some of my neighbors are actually recommending, like Milky Spore. Upon looking into the Milky Spore a little bit more, the Milky Spore only treats Japanese beetles. It does nothing against the June beetles, which we predominantly have in this area. I haven't seen hardly any Japanese beetles around, so there still might be some here, but I typically see the June beetles, especially when it starts hitting into those later months when they emerge from the ground. That's the only ones I see flying around my my lights and in the garage, and flying in my face and driving me nuts, and my kids running around screaming bloody murder. So I started using the GrubEx for the past, this will be the 2nd or 3rd year now that I've used it. It will treat not only the June beetles, but also the Japanese beetles that the Milky Spore treats. So you get a little bit broader range of all the white grubs that could possibly be in the ground, and not just one specific species of the white grub. So I'm putting that down, and so far this year, and knock on wood, it has helped keep the grubs down. I haven't seen any damage to my lawn from the grubs, and also because there's no food source for the moles, I haven't had as many mole issues this year. As compared to last year, I did still have quite a few of them, so maybe it's just a building up a couple years of the GrubEx and keeping those grubs away. This year I haven't had any moles, which is freaking amazing, because last year I killed 12 of them alone. Using the GrubEx, I believe, is very beneficial to the lawn, and not only does the GrubEx treat the growth specifically, but also it'll kill a lot of the other things in the yard. I believe it kills maybe like mole crickets and spiders and a bunch of other stuff that it lists on the bag. So it'll kill out a lot of the other stuff. So it's definitely highly recommended that you get that. And at one point later on where I was recording, I started talking about some of the lawn soil that you saw in the big mashup of stuff that I'm putting down. So the lawn soil and that peat moss, the big huge bag of peat moss that was sitting there, because that was apparently the only size that Lowe's carries. They couldn't carry just a 1 or 2 pound small bag, so I had to buy a 25-pound bale of it. So that is for the end of the street where my garbage truck decided to run through my yard. Not only did they run through my yard, but my street was newly paved, and they ran off on the edge of that, and so there's maybe about 6 inches of the road that they actually broke off, and it rutted down into my yard. So there's about tires about 8-10 inches wide that he ran in, and geez, these things weigh what, 15-20 tons, so he dug pretty deep into my yard. Probably about 8 inches deep, and then he ran about 3 foot into my yard. So it did quite a bit of damage right there on the edge of the yard. So I attempted to contact the garbage company. They sent someone out, took pictures, said they'd send someone out, a contractor, to repair the damage. That was like May 15th. They've still yet to contact me back regarding the damage to my lawn. They left a voicemail saying that they were going to fix it, and they just never showed up. So I bought the stuff myself, putting that down. I'll have some pictures, before and after pictures of before the repair and after. So put some lawn soil down, tried digging up the compacted areas of the soil where the garbage truck came in, and it pushed that soil over, and all this area was just heavily compacted. So I had to dig that up, and then put the lawn soil down. It was a Scott's lawn soil that has starter fertilizer in it already. I already have my grass seed from the previous year from overseeding. I had a little bit of extra left over. Put that down, and I took some of that peat moss and put down over top of it and watered in really good. So hopefully I can just highlight the parts of the receipt and send that off to the garbage company and say, since you guys didn't repair it, here's what I put into it. I didn't buy grass seed or starter fertilizer, so here's what I paid, and it'd be beneficial if you guys would reimburse me a little bit for my time as well. So it's maybe about $50 worth of damage or something, but it'd be cheaper than paying a contractor to come out and do it anyway. So maybe they'll do it, but I did send it off to them, and I've yet to hear from them. So I might be contacting them again and see if I can try to get reimbursed for this. Granted, it's not a whole lot of money, but it's still kind of the principle of it that garbage company does damage your property and then does nothing to repair it. So we'll see where that goes. So that's it for the Memorial Week. Hope you enjoyed the video. I know I don't do a whole lot of the camera views. I don't have any fancy drones or anything flying over while I'm mowing the grass or putting fertilizer down. I don't have any GoPros attached to the mower, which would probably be good anyway because there's a lot of bumps in my yard, so you'd see the camera all going. So I'll see what I can do. Maybe I can try to get some other camera shots or something, so it's not just me talking the whole time, because I'm sure that gets a little bit boring. So I'll try to get some camera shots in there as well. But like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.